released a single titled Motorsport, in which they requested a feature from Nicki. In Nicki's verse, she said, "If Cardi is the QB, then I'm Nick Lombardi. A trophy that is given to the Super Bowl winner is called the Lombardi Trophy." Nicki's essentially saying here, if Cardi's the star of a team, then I'm a legend.
How is that a diss? How is that a diss, though? What's good? Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be reacting to the sad decay of a rap legend, Nicki Minaj's downfall. I do remember the hate train that she did get years ago. It was bad. It was bad. Everybody was against her. She was getting dragged left and right. So I do remember a time like that. I already see the comments, okay? When it comes to, the Barbs and everybody else, I'm going to need y'all to, be respectful in the comments. Okay, I see it coming. I see the comments coming. I'm gonna need you to please be respectful in the comments. Have a discussion. Y'all can have a disagreement in the comments, but please make it respectful. Okay, it is never that deep. But make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and yeah, let's get into the video.
Is a living legend in rap. She has over 100 million records sold, 23 top 10 Billboard Hot 100 singles, 3 #1 singles, 3 #1 albums, 148 Billboard Hot 1 entries, making her the #5 of all time, 9 American Music Awards, 12 BET Awards, 8 MTV Video Music Awards, 4 Billboard Music Awards, 4 People's Choice Awards, 10 Grammy nominations. Do I really need to keep going because her list of accolades is long? If Nicki Minaj quietly bowed out of the spotlight, we would all hold her in high regard as one of the most dominant and well-respected female artists of all time.
Absolutely.
But she ruined that. Her continuous self-sabotage, close associations with sexual predators, and patterns of embarrassing behavior has led to even her most diehard fans questioning the rapper's legacy. Once we dive into her history, you will start to wonder if she is trying to destroy her reputation on purpose, because her words and actions will leave any sane person dumbfounded. But the true beginning of Nicki's decay started in 2017, when one rapper exposed her so badly that the tide began shifting against Minaj. For 7 years in a row, 2010 to 2016, Nicki won the BET Award for Best Female Hip-Hop Artist. It's almost like she was the only female rapper. Obviously she wasn't, but to hip-hop fans it kinda felt like that. Now sure, over the years she had some beef with other female artists, like Lil' Kim, Mariah Carey, Iggy Azalea, and even Miley Cyrus.
And now, back to this that had a lot to say about me the other day in the press. Miley, what's good?
But none of these feuds had any real negative impact on Nicki's career, especially when you compare them to Remy Ma, who was the first rapper to successfully break down Nicki Minaj. When Remy Ma was incarcerated in 2007, she left behind massive shoes in the female rap scene that Nicki arguably filled. Minaj cemented her name in rap history throughout the next couple of years, being dubbed the Queen of Rap, among other illustrious titles. When Remy was released from prison in 2014, the female rap scene had changed drastically, and she was nowhere near as relevant in the eyes of music listeners. But Remy still gave Minaj her props.
What I can say is that she's a wonderful woman, and she's on the same page with me, that there's no need to try to tear somebody down. I can say what I said. I let her know that I'm super proud of her.
Despite her being cordial, Remy likely felt hungry to take back the Queen of Hip-Hop crown. And what's a better way to show that she is a more skilled rapper than Nicki than remixing her songs? She released freestyles to Minaj's Only and Truffle Butter. On Truffle Butter, many suspected she took subliminal shots at Nicki. People keep saying, "Rem, you need to drop a record." I'm like, in a minute, let me body his records. Yeah, for the millions I will kill these pop hoes. Even though it seemed like a feud might be brewing, Remy continued voicing her support for Nicki and vice versa, with Nicki hinting at a potential collaboration in the future. Remy continued releasing music seemingly filled with subliminal disses towards Nicki for 2 years, and eventually Nicki took the bait. On Jason Derulo's single, Swalla, Nicki said, "I gave these 2 years. Now your time's up." Bless her heart, she throwing shots, but every line sucks. 2 days later, Nicki was featured on Gucci Mane's Make Love, where she took even more shots aimed at Remy. Oh, you the queen of this here? 1 platinum plaque, album flopped, where? This was clearly aimed at Remy, who consistently called herself the queen of NYC. But Remy comes from a class of hip-hop MCs that don't take disses lightly, so she clapped back at Nicki with a full-fledged, cutthroat diss track.
If y'all getting along behind the scenes, what was was the reason for the sneak dissing in the songs? You get what I'm saying? Like, if you and her was good, y'all had a mutual, y'all was good. What was the reason for the disses? You know, what was the reason?
Remy's 2017 remix of Nas's diss track on Jay-Z titled Ether, which is widely regarded as one of the most iconic hip-hop diss tracks of all time. Like Nas, Remy delivered a barrage of scathing insults and criticisms aimed at Nicki, attacking everything from her appearance to her credibility as an artist. She claims that Nicki had sex with Lil Wayne, Drake, Trey Songz, Ebro, Gucci Mane. She claims that Nicki's butt implants popped, which led to a downfall in her and Meek Mill's relationship. She also said that Nicki was influencing girls to get BBL surgeries, which have resulted in numerous deaths while under the knife. She claimed that Nicki uses ghostwriters and even hard drugs. She also criticized Nicki about her support for her brother, who is a convicted pedophile. At this point in her career, Nicki seemed invincible, and she had never been directly attacked at this magnitude by another female rapper. People patiently awaited to hear Nicki's response, with many thinking it would be one of the greatest diss tracks of all time, but she choked and barely responded. Trying to act unimpressed by the response, Nicki took to Instagram and posted a now-deleted screenshot of an article referencing Fat Joe and Remy Ma's album opening week sales, which is the stereotypical response for a more popular rapper to brag about sales numbers while avoiding the serious accusations. She also posted audio of Beyonce referencing her as a rap queen.
Say she was the rap queen.
Remy then appeared on the Wendy Williams show where she discussed why she dissed Nicki in the first place. She dressed in all black, implying that her outfit was funeral attire for Nicki. It took Minaj 2 weeks to respond with a record called No Frauds, where she accused Remy of getting plastic surgery, using ghostwriters, and a plethora of the exact same things that Remy accused Nicki of doing. Her response was basically, I know you are, but what am I? Despite Nicki's cult-like fanbase supporting her, the industry essentially declared Remy the winner, as she dethroned Nicki's 7-year run as the best female hip-hop artist at the 2017 BET Awards.
Fat while we starved. Shots in your pads in your bras. Y'all some liars. It ain't no facts in your song. And yeah, that crown is coming back to the Bronx.
Nicki Minaj hasn't won this award ever since. Those who saw Minaj as the epitome of female rap just witnessed her get embarrassed and disrespected. She failed to address the onslaught of Remy's attacks and just continued to flex her wealth and sales numbers. Many thought because Nicki avoided the allegations, they must be true. But it's possible that this beef was just strictly entertainment and Nicki tucked her tail and took the L because she knew she was the weaker MC. Plus, any attention Nicki gave Remy only made her more relevant. But things got even worse for Nicki. There was a new poppin' female rapper from New York called Cardi B, and she had no intentions on bowing down to Minaj. She stepped into the spotlight. Cardi aligned herself with Lil Kim and Remy Ma, Nicki's biggest enemies. Remy even brought out Cardi at Summer Jam 2017, where Remy's whole performance was dedicated to dissing Nicki Minaj. Therefore, Nicki declared Cardi her enemy. But Cardi was different than Remy. She actually had a chance to dethrone Nicki's spotlight, and maybe even compete with her sales numbers. Cardi had the same appeal as Nicki. She could rap, she had the charisma and humor, she could do pop music, she had the sex appeal, and she was even supporting a similar bob hairstyle. During summer of 2017, Cardi dropped her song Bodak Yellow, which was the hottest record of the summer. All of the spotlight was on Cardi, so Nicki immediately took shots at the rapper. London on the Track released a song titled No Flag, where Nicki is heard rapping, I heard these labels are trying to make another me. Everything you're getting, little hoe, is because of me. With how successful Nicki's career had been, it's not a stretch to think record labels viewed her as the blueprint to producing the next megastar in female rap, because Cardi seemingly responded to Nicki on stage.
You know this, she never liked me, and all of a sudden she wanna be friends with me, no bitch.
At the time, it wouldn't really make sense for Cardi B to be enemies with Nicki Minaj.
Right.
But from a business and marketing perspective, I could see a label encouraging this beef to keep fans engaged and boost sales numbers. In fact, Cardi's Barty Gang and Nicki's Barb's fan bases actively fought each other on social media. The Barbs even teamed up with the Swifties to excessively stream Taylor's Look What You Made Me Do in an attempt to keep Taylor at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. But they ultimately failed as Bodak Yellow landed at the the #1 spot, breaking a record that Nicki could never do by herself. Cardi B became the first female rapper with a #1 solo single since Lauryn Hill's Doo-Wop in 1998. Bodak Yellow stayed at #1 on the Hot 100 for 3 consecutive weeks. At this point, Nicki had never achieved a #1 song. Plus, she was 35 and her prime was seemingly behind her. Cardi's commercial impact could not be denied, and perhaps Nicki wanted to establish a truce. She congratulated Cardi on the massive achievement on Twitter, but that truce only lasted a few weeks, because Nicki's jealousy would eat away at her. In October of 2017, the Migos released a single titled Motorsport, in which they requested a feature from Nicki. In Nicki's verse, she said, "If Cardi is the QB, then I'm Nick Lombardi." To explain the reference, an NFL quarterback, like Patrick Mahomes, is typically the star of the team, but Vince Lombardi is one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time. He was an executive of the NFL, and the trophy that is given to the Super Bowl winner is called the Lombardi Trophy. Nicki's essentially saying here, if Cardi's the star of a team, then I'm a legend.
How is that a diss? How is that a diss though? That would be facts. No disrespect to Cardi, because I love Cardi too. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I love Cardi too. Okay, don't get me wrong. But how is that a diss though? She was just basically saying she's popping right now. She's popping right now. And she's just getting in the industry too. Cardi at that time was just getting in the industry. She was doing amazing things, making history. She was popping right now. If she's that, I'm still a legend in my own right though. Like if she's QB, I'm Nick Lombardi. I'm a legend. She is. Like Nicki had paid her dues. She made history multiple times. Like her rap sheet is solid. So yeah, you would say that she's a legend. So I don't know how that's like, me personally, I don't see how that's a diss. I guess how you can look at it, it depends on how you really look at it for real. It really do. It depends on how you really look at it. But me, how I look at it, I don't think that was a diss. But okay.
However, once Nicki found out that Cardi was going to be on the song, she changed the lyric to, "If Quavo is the QB, then I'm Nick Lombardi," which doesn't really make sense, nor does it rhyme.
I don't think I remember this, okay? I know I was old enough to remember this. I think that Nicki explained, I think he's going to explain it in here, but I believe that Nicki, even if he doesn't, I'm going to just say this. I know that Nicki explained that Cardi had a problem with it. And that's why I always say it really depends on the person, how they look at it. She didn't like it. So that's why Nicki changed it to Quavo instead of Cardi, because she said that, I thought that's what Nicki said. That's what I'm remembering she said. But if she didn't, and this is exactly what happened, I'm so sorry. But I'm just saying what I heard about what happened when it came to that one particular line, okay?
We were supposed to do the motorsport video. You turned in your last verse of it. And I was not feeling of you talking about, oh, if Cardi the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi, following it up with, bitch, you my son, go sit on a party. Bitch, you not my coach, because you never helped me to get in the career. And I'm nothing like you, so I'm definitely not your son. I'm a real-ass person. You not. And I told my label I'm not doing the video if she don't change her verse.
Cardi insisted that there was no beef between the two.
I just feel like it's really internet made of fans and people. They really want to see that happen because it's really entertaining. To see people beef is entertaining.
But the beef would be confirmed to be true when the two got into a physical altercation a few months later. At Harper's Bazaar's Icons party during New York Fashion Week, multiple videos of the two fighting quickly circulated online, with one even showing Cardi attempting to throw a shoe at Nicki. In one of the videos, Cardi can be heard making some damning threats. Cardi was later seen exiting the venue with a massive bump on her forehead. Nicki said she was embarrassed about the whole situation.
The other night, I was a part of something so mortifying and so humiliating.
Then Cardi responded with,
"How you say that I was the wild animal, that I attacked you, that you was mortified, that you was humiliated,
playing the victim, but now you're the gangster. You need to pick a side. Do you want to be the victim or do you want to be the gangster? You lie so much you can't even keep up with lies.
Cardi posted her reasoning behind the attack the following day. She accused Nicki of trying to blackball her, intimidate her, and worst of all, speaking ill of her child. Everyone took Cardi's side, since they understood that defending their children is important. However, Nicki vehemently denied that she ever spoke bad about Cardi's daughter. She also called out Cardi's hypocrisy by revealing old Instagram screenshots where Cardi repeatedly attacked a mother whose son died. She also referred to the deceased child as a monkey. Cardi also accused Nicki of trying to interrupt or ruin her financial opportunities, money that would help her feed her family. So Nicki again called out Cardi's hypocrisy.
Now we gonna get into some things because I'm tired of people lying on me. Now you want to talk about stopping bags, but it's 2 innocent girls in a strip club right now that ain't did nothing but go to the strip club and get money. Now they can't get no money, so who's stopping bags? Cause you got grown ass men showing up to where the they at and where they work at. They can't feed their kids, they can't feed their family. You mad at a woman for what a man is doing. And that's the problem with so many black women and women, period. Oh, because she's not black. Because she refers to you black women. Oh, we got the receipts for that too. FYI, she refers to black women as monkeys and roaches. Roaches!
Cardi never responded to this directly. She was done with the back and forth and made a declaration that Nicki did not want to accept.
We could settle it however you want to settle it. We could talk about it or we could fight it out. I'm with whatever.
Regardless of who you think was right in this situation, it was evident that female rappers had no intentions on bowing down and declaring Nicki as the queen of rap. Her dominance over the culture was fading. Cardi was just the first of many emerging female artists that we see dominating hip-hop today, and it seemed like Nicki was slowly losing her mind, seemingly grasping at straws to keep the public on her side. But the more she got on social media to rant, the worse it got for her. On August 10th, 2018, Nicki released her 4th studio album, Queen. Led by singles like Chun-Li and Barbie Dreams, the album received positive reviews from critics. Queen debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 200 after selling 185,000 units first week. Now, this was Nicki's worst album performance, but number 2 is still considered a wildly successful debut.
Absolutely.
She just released at a competitive time. Travis Scott's Astroworld dropped the week before, which was the single most anticipated album of 2018. And he delivered as it was a great project. Astroworld remained at number 1 for a second week in a row with 205,000 sales. With the Cardi B beef still fresh, Cardi fans had even more ammo since her debut album reached number 1 just a few months earlier. On top of that, Cardi outsold Nicki. Nicki being number 2 was further proof to her detractors that she is not the dominant force she once was, so she started blaming everyone but herself for the album not reaching number 1. She tweeted, "Spotify put Drake's face on every playlist but told me they'd have to teach me a lesson for playing my music 10 minutes early on Queen Radio, even though they've been giving away my music for free for years and I'm one of the top Spotify artists of all time." Nicki also blamed her label for not standing up for her because they feared Spotify would retaliate and not promote her friend and frequent collaborator Ariana Grande's album Sweetener that released around the same time. Spotify eventually addressed Nicki's claims, denying all allegations of mistreatment. Spotify supported Nicki Minaj with a Times Square billboard, a host of the largest playlists, New Music Friday, and the New Music Release Shelf. A representative for Spotify told Business Insider, her song Bed actually saw an increase based on the promotions put behind the campaign. The company continues to be big fans of Nicki. After Spotify proved her wrong, Nicki could no longer blame them, so she shifted her anger towards Travis himself. "I put my blood, sweat, and tears in writing a dope album only for Travis Scott to have Kylie Jenner post a tour pass telling people to come see her and Stormy. I'm actually laughing." For context, Kylie Jenner promoted Travis Scott's online store to Instagram with the caption, "Me and Storm ready for tour," to which Nicki claims that Travis sold 50,000 album units because of Kylie's promotion. All purchases of his t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and keychains automatically came with a digital download of Astroworld, which counted as one album sale, even though the buyer is not required to actually download or listen to the album. This has been a common strategy for artists to exploit the Billboard charts for over a decade.
What we not gonna do is have this auto-tune man coming up here selling fucking sweaters and telling y'all he sold 500,000 fucking albums, because he didn't. And it's a lot of rappers behind the scene that want to talk about it and they're scared. You're a fucking man. You got your fucking homeboy talking for you and you got your girlfriend posting tour passes saying you sold albums. Stop it.
Firstly, Nicki calling Travis Auto-Tune Man is a non-insult considering her love for the effect. Secondly, her being angry about bundle sales is ironic because she tried to do this exact same strategy. According to an article published by Rolling Stone, On her online store, Nicki had an array of merch and album bundles available. She also provided a concert package to her upcoming joint tour with rapper Future. Each time a fan purchased a concert package, they received free copies of her album, which substantially impacted the sales for Queen. Nicki also tried to boost her numbers after the album's official release by adding her previous release track Fifi to the album, which would count towards the album's total streaming numbers. But none of it worked. Nicki had no one else to blame. She had to just accept that people didn't want her album, her merch, or her tour as much as they wanted Travis's or Cardi B's. As if 2018 couldn't get any crazier for Nicki, the public found out about her boyfriend's dark past, which changed her reputation forever. Nicki began to publicly post about her boyfriend Kenneth Petty after a few months of dating, with sources close to Minaj claiming that they were already considered getting married and having babies. But Nicki's fans weren't so supportive of Kenneth, as he is a convicted sex offender stemming back to the 90s. Kenneth initially pleaded not guilty to all charges. However, during a hearing on April 5th, 1995, Petty withdrew his not guilty plea and instead pleaded guilty to the charge of attempted rape. He was sentenced to 18 to 54 months in prison, but served nearly 4 years before his release in January of 1999. If Kenneth is considered a Tier 2 or Tier 3 sex offender, he must remain on the sex offender registry for at least 20 years, as well as report his current address to the Department of Justice every 6 months, which is why in July of 2022, Petty was sentenced in Los Angeles to probation and home detention for failing to register as a sex offender. Kenneth was also ordered to pay a $55,000 fine as a part of his sentence of 3 years probation and 1 year of home detention, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. But it gets even worse. Since the public became so invested in Nicki's relationship, media outlets began reporting on the 26-year-old trial, which led to Petty's victim, Jennifer Hugh, having to relive this horrific time of her life. She even claimed that the associates of Minaj and Petty spent months in 2020 harassing her and offered her hundreds of thousands of dollars to basically say that the attempted rape never happened. Jennifer alleged that a man named Barry, who was close to her brother, reached out to offer his help. Barry got Jennifer on the phone with Minaj, to which she claims that Minaj tried to help her. She also quoted Nicki saying, "Listen, I just need you to know, woman to woman, this really happened." Jennifer was confused. Why would Nicki Minaj want to help her husband's victim? Well, if Jennifer were to say that the 1995 case was a lie, then Nicki's reputation to the public might be saved. Barry allegedly parked in a car outside her house. Jennifer said he offered her $20,000 in cash if she agreed to sign a letter he'd typed that stated she lied about her assault. Jennifer refused any and all offers of financial compensation to change her story. Jennifer became even more fearful when she received a call from her brother asking if she was okay. He told her that their cousin had called him again, and that this time he sounded terrified, telling them that they knew where she lived. Jennifer moved and changed her phone number as she feared for her safety. She did not know who was looking for her, but she did not want to take any chances. She ended up moving 3 times over the course of a couple years. She believes that she was being intimidated, stalked. Also, she could change her story and clear Petty's name to the public. But she stayed strong and refused to give in. She actually ended up suing the Pettys for $20 million for her claims she endured a relentless campaign of bribery, intimidation, harassment, and stalking. But then Petty accused Hugh of going out of her way to publicly shame him. Jennifer even went as far as releasing never-before-seen photos from 1994 with bruises on her neck and body after the assault. Jennifer said, "When I was 16, nobody believed me, and now it feels the same. It feels like I'm fighting for my character." Petty and Minaj's legal teams denied all accusations and are more than ready to defend themselves in court. Since Minaj hasn't directly responded to these allegations, it's impossible to say she is guilty of bribery and intimidation. Not responding is probably the smartest thing Nicki has ever done. But even if the truth comes out that she never intimidated this woman, fans still wonder why out of all people Nicki chose to be with, she landed on Kenneth Petty. After all, this wasn't his only crime. Petty was also responsible for the shooting death of Lamont Robinson in 2002. The original charge was murder in the second degree, but following a plea bargain, he pled guilty to manslaughter, to which he was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison for. TV host Jesse Palmer aired a segment on Daily Mail TV regarding Nicki's relationship where he said that Nicki's fans were, quote, worried because this isn't the first time Nicki Minaj has defended a sex offender. He then clarified that Nicki had allegedly been supporting her brother while he was behind bars. Nicki proceeded to have an outburst on Instagram, saying, saying, "You just lied on me on national television and now you're being sued. You better be able to back up what you just said about me with facts." She followed up with another tweet saying that the reporter was going to jail for repeating extremely public information. Nicki would have 100% lost this lawsuit since it was public knowledge that Nicki was supporting her brother during his trial. Because if you don't know, Nicki's husband isn't the only one guilty of sex crimes. Her brother Jelani Mirage was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for predatory sexual assault against a child. Authorities arrested Jelani in connection with the case in December of 2015 after he was accused of repeatedly R-wording his stepdaughter, beginning when she was just 11 years old. According to Gossip, Jelani was an employee for Nicki at the time. While in custody, he suffered from an unknown medical condition that required him to be arranged at Nassau University Medical Center. According to the New York Post, Nicki Minaj promptly paid her brother's $100,000 bail, using 2 of her houses in Baldwin, Long Island as collateral. According to a source close to Nicki, she was prepared to do anything for her brother. Nicki was willing to give up any asset to ensure she had enough money to protect her brother. A grand jury in New York's Nassau County indicted Jelani Mirage on felony sexual assault against a child in April of 2016. He was also indicted on 2 felony counts of sexual conduct against a child and endangering the welfare of a child. He pled not guilty to the charges, asserting his innocence and denying the charges brought against him. Since he pled not guilty, Jelani seeked to have the prosecution prove the case against him beyond a reasonable doubt during the trial in October of 2017. Although Nicki never commented publicly on the charges against Jelani, his attorney, David Schwartz, told media outlets that Nicki may attend part of her brother's trial and supports him 100%. In November of 2017, Nassau County Court found Jelani Mirage guilty of predatory sexual assault. And you might as well just add rapper Tekashi 6.
Okay, this is a lot. He's going through a lot. Okay, I gotta pause it. I got to pause it right now, okay? When it comes to her brother, he really did that. He needs to be in jail. Okay, period. Because when it comes to the children and when it comes to shit like that, we don't take that shit lightly at all. He needs to be in jail for the rest of his life. He don't need to see sunlight at all. We don't play about kids. We don't play about none of that. Like, no, we're not doing that. That is horrible. That is terrible. That is sick. Okay. When it comes to her husband, I could see how people will think, or that can tarnish her reputation. And I'm going to tell you why. No matter if he's guilty or not, okay, because clearly Nicki, she believes that her husband is not guilty. Nicki believes that her husband is innocent. Because if she didn't believe he was innocent, I don't think she would be with him. You get what I'm saying? So other people, they think that he's not innocent because all they're thinking about and all they're seeing is what he went to prison for, his past history, and him got to register every month or 6 months or however he said, whatever. So people only going to see what he went to jail for, him still doing that, him still having to do that. That's all they're going to see. They're going to say they found him guilty in a court of law, so he did that shit. Period. That's how people are going to look at it. Even if he didn't do it, okay? I don't know him personally. I wasn't there in 1997, 1996, wherever it happens. I don't know, okay? He probably did. He probably didn't. I don't know. I'm just saying what other people are, seeing right now, okay? Other people, they're very black and white. They're going to be like, this is what he went to jail for. He was guilty in a court of law. He did that shit. They're going to automatically think that she's associated with him. She allows it. And it's tarnishing her legacy. That's what people are going to automatically think, automatically see. So even if he didn't do it, let's just say even if he didn't do it, it's not going to matter to other people because he went to jail for it and he still has to register. And it's still going to tarnish her reputation because no matter what, people are going to say, well, he went to jail for it and he was found guilty of it, so it has to be true. It's a terrible situation. It really is. I don't know these people personally. I don't know what's going on in their day-to-day life.
We'll just add rapper Tekashi 69 to the Nicki Minaj sex crime triangle, as her first #1 song came from their collaboration, Trolls. In October of 2015, Daniel Hernandez pled guilty to a felony count of use of a child in a sexual performance. He was charged with 3 counts of the offense after a February 2015 incident in which he had physical contact with a 13-year-old girl, and later distributed videos of the incident online as a part of a music video. In the video, the child engages in oral sexual intercourse with the separately charged defendant Taquan Anderson, while the defendant, Daniel Hernandez, stands behind the child making a thrusting motion with his pelvis and smacking her on the buttocks. The child is nude in the video. In an interview with DJ Academics, 6ix9ine denied knowing the girl was a minor, but Tekashi's legal situation was very much public knowledge before Nicki and 6ix9ine's first collaboration. Most artists in the industry avoided working with Tekashi due to this charge, but Nicki didn't seem to mind. Some people, particularly Nicki Minaj fans, look at her involvement with sexual predators as strictly coincidental. Her brother could have lived a double.
Bro, okay. Okay. I didn't know about that at all when it came to 6ix9ine. At all. Are you serious right now? 6ix9ine really did that? I thought people did not work with 6ix9ine because they said he was a snitch. Because, you know, he was a part of a gang, or he was like an affiliate or whatever to one of the, you know, one of the gang, whatever. They were not working with him because of that reason. Because every time you bring up 6ix9ine, they be talking about, oh, he a snitch. We don't associate with snitches or whatever like that. So I'm thinking the industry don't mess with him because they think he's a snitch. I never heard nothing about this. So this is new to me.
She probably genuinely thought he was a good, innocent man and was just as shocked as we were when the charges were made. They probably think she financially supported him because she is a good sister. Her husband's case was in 1995 before she ever knew him, and he was 16 years old. Maybe Nicki believes he is a changed man, and their love is so strong she is willing to forgive him. Or maybe she genuinely believes he was falsely accused and vilified his whole life, and 6ix9ine could be chalked up as purely business. 6ix9ine is a rapper, and let's be honest, most rappers aren't exactly the most morally righteous people. But she still has this massive gray cloud of questionable associations that makes it really hard for fans to defend her, especially when she keeps engaging in wars with other female rappers. In addition to Remy and Cardi, Latto and Megan Thee Stallion broke Nicki down, but we can't even blame them. You will notice that Minaj did this to herself. Nicki and Atlanta-based rapper Latto got into some beef after Minaj exposed screenshots of their private conversation. It all started when Minaj was mad at the Grammys for nominating her song Super Freaky Girl in the pop category, while Latto's hit song Big Energy was nominated in the rap category.
Super Freaky Girl, where I only rapped on the song, was removed out of rap categories at the Grammys, right? And put in pop.
Now, Nicki does have a solid point here. The Grammys categorizations for these songs does seem wrong, and people have suspected that the Grammys have been corrupt for a long time. Latto responded with a subtweet saying, "Damn, I can't win for losing. All these awards, nominations, I can't even celebrate." According to Latto, she attempted to reach out to Nicki and privately address the situation, but Nicki went to Twitter instead. "This Karen has probably mentioned my name in over 100 interviews. She said she waited in line for Pink Friday with her Barbie chain on, bangs, pink hair, but today, Scratch Off decides to be silent, rather than speak up for the black woman she called her biggest inspiration." The two then continued their back and forth on Twitter. Latto said, "Super Freaky Grandma is married and related to effing rapists. You ain't gonna bully me, bitch. My idol turned rival, now you hating." As you can see, anytime Nicki gets into a beef, the main attack is her association with her brother and husband. Nicki responded by pointing out Latto's hypocrisy. Didn't care about when she was begging for features, didn't care about Kodak's past, didn't care about the accusations made about Dr. Luke, who produced Big Energy. Newsflash, Scratch Off, I've never raped anyone. I've inspired millions. You're one of them, bozo. To be clear, Latto never accused Nicki of R-wording anyone. She said married and related. The public took Latto's side and looked at Nicki as a bitter old bully mad at the young rising star who won the BET Award for Best Female Hip-Hop Artist over Nicki. But Nicki's beef with Latto is minor compared to how she embarrassed herself trying to attack Megan Thee Stallion. Megan was the one female rapper.
Okay, before we get into the Megan situation, because I think this is going to be the last one, because it's the last beef that Nicki really had, that is very recent. When it came to the Latto and Nicki situation, I heard that she linked a phone call. I believe that was kind of like out of line. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I believe that the phone call should have never been linked, because now it didn't look right. It looked like, because people are gonna automatically be like, okay, why are you recording a phone call? What was your intent on the situation when you talk to her? You get what I'm saying? Like, you was just waiting to put that out. You get what I'm saying? And if it wasn't her intent, it kind of looked like it to a lot of people. And I believe that she could have handled that situation differently. But yeah, that beef was...
that Nicki didn't immediately make enemies with. After connecting on Instagram Live, the two collaborated on Megan's single, Hot Girl Summer, in 2019, which became a huge hit. They even shot a music video together and seemed to be on friendly terms for the short years that followed. But in 2021, Minaj unfollowed Megan on Instagram, sparking rumors that their friendship was heading south. On an episode of her Queen radio show the following year, Minaj recalled an encounter between them that shifted the status of their friendship. Nicki said, "Imagine telling someone you didn't want to drink because you were, at the time, possibly pregnant, because you were actively trying to have a baby." In typical Nicki fashion, she doesn't mention anyone's name, but fans suspected it was about Megan. A fan tweeted at Megan, "Nicki Minaj is accusing you of encouraging abortion and child endangerment with alcohol. This isn't something to stay quiet on." And Megan said, "Lie."
What if is a symptom that torments individuals with OCD?
What if I upset someone I love?
Months later, Minaj took subtle digs at Meg on the track Red Ruby to Sleaze, rapping, "700 on them horses when we fixing to leave, but I don't fuck with horses since Christopher Reeves." If you don't know, Stallion is a horse. Megan ignored her shots for years until her 2024 song, Hiss, which is an all-encompassing diss track where she takes shots at multiple people in the industry, including Minaj by way of her husband's status as a registered sex offender. Megan raps, "These hoes don't be mad at Megan, these hoes mad at Megan's Law." Megan's Law is the name for a federal law in the United States requiring law enforcement authorities to make information available to the public regarding registered sex offenders. This one lyric sent Nicki into one of the worst meltdowns we've seen on social media by a celebrity.
I don't care. Bitch. I dare you. I fucking dare you, bitch, to say one more thing about my fucking family, ho. Bullet fragment foot, bitch. Bullet fragment, she a bullet fragment, bitch. Now listen here, ho. Get up on your good foot. Bitch, I said get up on your good foot, not your bad foot. Fuck was that, a diss or piss? Said it was hiss, I said piss. My fans called it piss.
Nicki is maniacally mocking the incident where Megan was shot in the foot by Tory Lanez. She then goes on to refer to her husband's rape as 30-year-old T.
Y'all mad because y'all don't have somebody that loves you and stand 10 toes down behind you. So you bringing up 30-year-old T for when this man was a 15-year-old child. You bringing up 30-year-old T because no man has ever and will ever love you and lying on your dead mother, on your dead mama, on your dead, lied on a dead mama, lied on a dead mama, lied on a dead mama, lied on your, I said lied on a sexy red, she done lied, she lied and she cried and she lied and she cried, she said she lied and she cried and she lied and she cried and then she lied and she cried and she.
Nicki, aged 41 years old, repeatedly mocks Megan's mother who died of brain cancer, while claiming that this is her alter ego, Roman, speaking.
Every one of y'all, bloggers, YouTubers, all of y'all, let me tell y'all something. What my pen don't catch, the universe will. Ask about my prophecies.
She didn't drag Megan, she embarrassed herself. This is literally the same feeling as when you have to sit next to a crackhead on a bus. This is what narcissistic rage looks like. Nicki then took to Twitter to continue expressing her rage. Megan's Law, for a free beat you could hit Megan raw. Minaj also did what she does best and bragged about her success, listing several accolades while comparing their respective careers. She even accused Megan of winning fraudulent awards, seemingly referring to her 3 Grammys, of which Minaj has none, and repeatedly described her as a a flop who uses ghostwriters. In the midst of the outburst, TMZ reported that several barbs leaked the location of the burial site of Megan's mother on social media. As a result, the cemetery notified local authorities and increased the number of security personnel at their facility. She spent days berating Megan on social media, during which she repeatedly mentioned her mother. Nicki also liked hundreds of tweets from fans talking negatively about Megan, many of which mocked her for the shooting. Nicki ultimately released a diss track titled Bigfoot, where she taunts Megan over her deceased mother, her appearance, and her sexual history, including her relationship with ex-boyfriend Pardison Fontaine. And the last 2 minutes of this song is a creepy monologue that sounds like a mental breakdown. The producers really saw her having a manic episode and hit record. Nicki, girl, they only asked you to stop covering up predators. Megan has yet to respond to Nicki's diss track. She seems to be unbothered while she continues to promote Hiss. Hiss was met with widespread critical acclaim and debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it her third #1 single as an artist. Due to the negative attention placed on Nicki following her heated rivalry with Megan, fans began digging into her past and found a questionable old song. The 2009 Lil Twist track, Old Enough, featuring Nicki Minaj, was released when Lil Twist was 16 years old. Nicki raps, "You might can get it, you might can hit it, but I gotta run. I know you young, but you know I like that young money. See, little boy, I can be your little teacher. And if you ball, then meet me behind the bleachers. You gotta come hard trying to reach her. Cause if we hit it, I might charge you for the feature." While someone can argue that it's just music, a creative outlet to innocently roleplay various situations, it's just another bullet point on the long list of Nicki's associations with sex crimes. And again, there is no debating that Nicki Minaj fundamentally changed the landscape for female rappers forever. She is a hip-hop legend, but all of this has put a damaging stain on her reputation.
Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. I learned something new every single day, child. And it was a lot of things that I did not know when it came to this video, as far as like the 6ix9ine situation and stuff like that. I did not know he did that, child. I was okay. But yeah, this was a lot. This was a lot. Like I said, Nicki still, her history and her legacy cannot be erased. Even though like it's been a lot. It's been a lot when it came to regarding like her husband and her brother, and it's just been a lot on her and her reputation. But it does not cancel the fact that she is still one of the greatest rappers of all time. Period, you know? What do you guys think about this video? Leave your comments down below. Remember, you can have a conversation in the comments, but please keep it respectful, guys. Please keep it respectful. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for coming through, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Kinetics with the fucking plug.